just doing a video, like trying a YouTube video for about 30 minutes, and then the camera went off.
Do you think the person that sold it to you probably knows about it?
Yes, I think so. Because as I'm talking to you, the guy is no longer picking my calls.
This particular unit, I'm actually filming on it now, and the 70D happens to be my first, I think, yeah, this is my very first time having the 70D, and I've actually used the 70D in different scenarios. I mean, I've used it for vlogs, I've used it for photography, and a few YouTube videos like this, and I think there seems to be a common problem that a lot of people are not aware of. I recently attended a wedding. I actually made a video about this whole experience where I had one of my 70D dead. The camera just went off all of a sudden in my hands for reasons I don't know, because the camera did not fall down, and I actually struggled to figure out what the problem is. I mean, I did all the research I could do, but honestly, I didn't come to think of any possible or any obvious reason why the camera might just die on me. So I did a couple of research right after the event, and I actually met a couple of people who also shared similar experience, and I think I've come to a conclusion to understand why the Canon 70D normally dies for no reason. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, maybe you might have heard or seen someone complain, or you've had similar experience, or have seen similar experience. I mean, anything can happen, but I'm sure you've probably heard about this whole situation. I've made a couple of videos about the 70D on this channel, praising it all I can, saying, hey, the 70D is good, it's a good camera for both photography and I mean a little bit of videos. It all depends. I mean, I still stand on that video that I made. At that point, I did not experience such, so I wasn't able to drop that in my disadvantages. Based on all the nicer things that the 70D provides, there is still a heavy downfall. There is still a big con that this camera has, and I don't think right now at this point of shooting, if you really want to get one, I would advise you to do that. Honestly, the 70D is not really bad. I would say that if you are someone that wants to get this camera purposely for photography, studio work, then I think it will be a solid camera for that particular field. But if you are someone that wants to do videos like YouTube videos, vlogs, short videos, all those type of, I mean, anything that got to do with videos, I will honestly say that maybe you should skip the 70D. Probably the 60D will do a better job, because I've come to understand that whilst Canon was making this particular 70D, I'm not sure what happened. Probably they did not give enough space in the body for, I mean, the heat to escape, or they didn't, I don't know how they actually made the body of this particular camera, but from what I've realized and from the research that I've done, a lot of the 70Ds do have a problem of overheating. So right now I'm actually filming on the 70D, and whilst I'm filming on, I'm even scared because I had one broke down on me, and this is the last 70D that I got right now. And it's not like when they break down, they are very cheap to fix. Trust me, once the 70D shuts down, it can cost you more than the camera body itself. So I had one broke down on me. I made a video about it. If you haven't seen it, check that video out. And I actually did inquiries trying to fix it and all that. And the quotes that I got from people seems to be a bit expensive. They actually on the expensive side. It's something that a lot of camera repairers, people who fix cameras, do know about it. The cost of fixing this particular problem goes all the way somewhere between $250 up until $400, which I think it does not make sense, because this camera is actually in that price range. If I'm buying a new board and all that, then why do I have to get the camera at the first place? So I would say at this point of time, if you really want to get yourself, or if someone is trying to sell the 70D to you, honestly, with the little advice, I would say maybe you should skip. if you really need the camera for video work. But if you are looking for this particular 70D for photography, then I think you don't have a problem with that. But on the other side, if you still want to consider this particular camera, then I would suggest you put in a serious test whenever you are buying it. So these cameras are a bit old. I think it's about 10 years or more. I can't recall. And they've been, I mean, around. People have been using these whole cameras. Like I mentioned before, this particular camera does not have any space where heat evaporates. So whatever happens in there stays in the body. And anytime you film, the heat stays in there. It stays on the motherboard. Gradually, they die. They do not just die in a day. So as time goes on, the more you film, one day it just shuts down. So that is the little research that I've done. I'm not sure why that is the case once again, and I'm not sure what the technical problem is on this particular body, but I think Canon might actually have answers to this particular issue because they are also aware of this. And there was actually a program that Canon came up with that if you have similar issue, you can return your 70D, and there was a cost, I think about $200 or so, which I don't know if the program still exists. So this is a problem that Canon was even aware of. I think I went on their website and I saw that Canon was actually taking in the 70Ds for repairs. I recently went to make a business with one guy in town, and whilst talking to him, he also mentioned that he got the same camera which he bought. He only filmed for about 10-20 minutes and the camera died, which is, I mean, the same experience, similar experience as what happened to me. So on this case, I think the 70D really got a lot of questions, and I'm not sure what people are doing out there. At this point, it seems like when the camera dies, people do some minor things for it to light up so they can just sell it, and that is just temporary. So it always dies in a short duration after you try to use it for anything longer than 5 minutes to 10 minutes. So that is the little research that I've come across. And trust me, once again, if you ever want to get the 70D, I would say maybe you should look elsewhere. Maybe you should get the Rebel Series 600D, 700Ds. Those are far way better than the 70D. I'm talking, specifically about the 70D. You can go for the 60D, 80D, no issues on that. Yeah, bro.
Hello?
Yeah, champion.
Yes, sir.
Charlie, how's it?
I'm cool by the grace of God.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, so I remember last time you mentioned about the 70D issue when we met.
Yeah.
Can you like tell me what actually happened?
No, the thing is, I just got it from someone. Okay.
Okay, you
So
got it from someone as for free, or you bought it?
no. I bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought it. That was about 3,400.
Okay.
So I was just doing a video, like trying a YouTube video for about 30 minutes, and then the camera went off.
Okay.
So when it went off, I thought it was the battery, so I removed the battery and then I put it on charge. When the battery was fully charged, I put it back into the camera and it did not on. So then I start changing the batteries, and then I realized still it didn't on. That's all. It did not fall, nothing happened to it.
So it was just the very same day, or it was like a month later, or when did this whole thing happen?
Like since the time I bought it.
The same day that you bought it, that is the day that the camera got broken.
No, that's about 3 days.
3 days after.
Yeah, 3 days after, and it has not been used from the day I bought it.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not like when I bought it, I was using it. No, because I have other cameras.
Okay.
So someone wanted me to set up a live stream for him.
Okay.
So that was the main purpose of buying the camera. So the day I want to actually try the full potential of the video and see how I'm going to set it up for the person. That was the day the thing happened, which is about 3 days from the day I bought it, I think. So
I see. Do you think the person that sold it to you probably knows about it?
Yes, I think so. Because as I'm talking to you, the guy is no longer picking my calls, and he's not willing to meet with me in sorting out the issue of the distance.
I see.
Yeah. So that was my mind, that maybe he knew very well of this thing. I don't know. Perhaps he knew about it, perhaps he doesn't. But
I see.
if you don't know something, if you don't know about it, he has a way, like he has more upper hand when it comes to being able to get a repairer to repair it and all that. He know people who deals in it and all that. And yet he refused to get in touch and sort the issue, this thing out.
Okay, so according to you, would you say like it's a once-off problem, or it's a 70D problem? Do you think it's just your unit, or you've heard other people complain about the same?
I have heard other people complaining. I quickly turned to the YouTube to see if there is a cause, and then I realized everybody has a similar problem. It just goes off, and then some people have some solutions as to maybe it will be the battery cover sensor, or sometimes there are some screw, the screw that tighten the bottom of the camera. They say some of them are attached to the board, sometimes with a whole bunch of things. Everybody have his own theory, but most of the people were like, it's the battery cover problem. So they just pull that sensor, and then that's it, and the camera come on. And I did mine, still it didn't work.
Once again, the 70D is not a reliable camera for video making. If you ever want to get this camera, please try as much as possible to test it. Maybe whilst you are getting it, try to record a video at the spot for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes or more. And if it passes maybe 20, 30 minutes, then I think you can maybe consider it only if it's cheap. Or whilst you are buying it, try to, dial in, go through the camera, spend time at the spot. Don't just hand in money, take it. Or if you're buying online, don't let someone just ship it to you without you testing it. This camera's really got a huge question mark, and I can't blame it because it's not a new camera. Honestly, I can't blame the 70D. It is an old camera, so these things are to be expected, and especially for the fact that it does not have the pro bodies like the 5D, 6Ds. I think we cannot complain, because I do know that the 5Ds, 6Ds, you can record as long as possible without having any heating issues. But with the 70D, Canon really made a big mistake at this particular unit. And yes, it is old camera once again, so I guess we are very late to complain. If you have any issues about this 70Ds, if you have come to realize that your camera just went off whilst you were shooting, it's not an issue of memory card, it's not an issue of a battery. Your motherboard is dead. The board of the camera is gone. It's game over. And the only way to fix this is to buy a new board, or there is a temporary solution that these repairers out there do. I'm not sure what they do, but it seems like they do change some minor stuff in there, and this only lasts for a few minutes. And this is the way that people are selling this camera out there to you. In that case, you buy it. You will never know. You will think, okay, it's working. You buy it, and when you take it on a field to shoot your main gig or your main event, whatever it may be, that is when the camera will die on you. You might think you are the cause of it, but the person who actually sold it to you knows what happened. So the 70D really got a question. Well, if you're picking a brand new one in a box, I think it is fair. It can maybe last you, but if it is used secondhand with scratches on it, obviously they've been using it multiple times and the board is about to die on you. So yes, thank you very much for watching. This is just a little update warning and a few research that I've done. Trust me, it is real. If you really ignore this and still go for it, then you should be putting yourself in a huge trouble. Once again, thank you for watching me. subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe. Peace.